Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to a new playthrough for the channel. It's Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. So, for today, I am going to be playing the first game, Crash 1. And just for the record, I'm playing this on the Nintendo Switch. And another thing that's special that I'll be getting into further when we start the game is that I'm going to be playing by the original game rules. But I'll explain that a bit later. For now, let's start a new game. And overwrite my save.
But, Dr. Cortex, we haven't determined the cause of past failures.
Moron! This Bandicoot will be my general, and he will lead my Cortex commandos to world domination. This time, I shall reign triumphant. We are closer than ever before. Quickly, into the vortex.
Dr. Cortex, the vortex is not ready. We have no idea what it could do.
Failure again. Capture him!
Uh-oh.
Prepare the female Bandicoot.
Well, looks like our journey fell flat. Alright, so now let's get into the game, shall we? So, pretty standard rules here. With these kind of crates, you want to jump on top of them to get the max number of Wumpa fruits. On those, you can jump or spin to open them up. Alright, so now let me get into the controls a bit. So you press Y to spin, B to jump, and X for... Well, it says inventory, but really what it does is it shows your Wumpa fruit, your box tally, and the number of lives that you have. When you collect... Okay, so the name of the mask right there is Aku Aku. And basically, he is your hit points. So, if you get hit, you'll just lose Aku Aku. And if you have no Aku Akus left, then you lose a life. You can spin into enemies to defeat them, and sometimes they'll run into other objects along the way. That's something you do want to be careful for in later levels, as that can end up screwing you over out of certain bonuses. Not bonuses, but like different objects. I'll explain it better when the time comes. But okay, but as you saw, after I got the second Aku Aku mask, Aku Aku got brighter. So that means you can take 2 hits for you. And if you get a third Aku Aku mask, then you go into this invincibility state where you run faster, you are invisible, and what am I trying to say? You instantly knock out any enemies that are in the field that can be knocked out anyway. And you can fall down. Okay then. So, okay, this is a bit embarrassing here, but we're actually going to quit the level because, like I said, we're going to be playing by original Crash rules. So, for those of you who don't know, the original Crash Bandicoot came out on the PS1, oh gosh, I think over a decade ago, maybe like 1996, I want to say? I'm not too sure about that. And, press X to skip. Anyway. Yeah, so I believe in 1996, so before I was born even. That's the main moral of the story here. But in the original game, what you had to do was break every crate in a level and not die before you hit the first checkpoint box, which were those boxes that had like the C on it. Because in the original game, once you broke a checkpoint box, gee, I don't know what I was sorry to say, it wouldn't save the crates that you broke, which means you basically had to either backtrack through the level to break all those crates, or you just restarted the level from there. And so that's been changed. So in this version, the Insane Trilogy versions, that has been changed where you don't need to do that anymore. which is very much a thankful gameplay improvement. Well, I'm assuming anyway, because I never played the original Crash Bandicoot. But, so now you may be wondering, like, hey, why are you gonna do it like that, though? Like, go by original rules. Well, what can I say? I'm a masochist. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I'm basically just a masochist. I just want to make things harder on myself. Okay, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, this is a bit harder for me because I am playing this on an awkward sort of setup, really. How I'm playing this is, not on my TV, but through a computer screen because I'm recording the game. And so, my perspective is very reduced. Like, it's even worse because, like, I'm playing on the Switch, but I'm comfortable playing the game in handheld mode. Actually, that's how I played the game the first time around. But having it reduced even further for like a computer screen is really messing me up. But anyway, wow. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Smash you. Okay. Now, anyway, so it's a shame I don't have the I can't get the Aku invincibility, but at this point it doesn't matter too much, just because okay, now it matters. Matters because yeah, so you don't get 3 hit points, you only get the 2 from the Aku mask. But anyway, so what I like to do is, so for branching paths, obviously you're gonna pick one or the other, and the thing is, for pretty much always when there's a branching path, there's a crate on the other side, so you have to backtrack. And backtracking in Crash, even to this day, is still not that good, because, as you can see, I'm fighting against the camera, trying to look. But this level isn't too bad. But sometimes you'll have to backtrack really far against the camera to get the crates, which can be annoying because enemies can nearly pop up on screen in front of you. But anyway, if you break all the crates in a stage, then you get a crate gem. And you'll come to this screen. And if you didn't get all the... Actually, no, I'll just show what happens in the next level. But, it's very interesting playing the first Crash, but not the original one on the PlayStation. Because, I'm a Nintendo child. Like, I grew up with, like, the GameCube, the Game Boy, SP, and all that. So, I mean, I didn't start, like, at the very beginnings of, like, NES or SNES. I'm not that old. But, it's just interesting, yeah, you know, some people, they grew up, and Crash was, like, their main thing. And for me, stuff like Pokemon was my main thing, but, you know, obviously we couldn't experience either unless we owned each other's console, or, yeah, handheld console otherwise. So it's just kind of interesting how, like, nowadays we're able to see this kind of, like, blurring of, like, the exclusivity lines in a way. I mean, granted, Pokemon is still a Nintendo exclusive, and it's very likely to stay that way, but still. There we go. Ooh. Okay, so that, I guess, square, that rectangle kind of token thing that I picked up before is called a Tana token. And so what you want to do is gather, anytime there's a token of any kind, really, there's more than just a Tana token, but anytime you gather a token, there are 3 of them in a level. It's never going to vary. There's always going to be 3. And so what you want to do is gather all 3 because they will unlock a bonus stage of some sort. For Tana tokens, those are the most common ones, but in the original game, that was one way you saved. Okay, I hate that one. Anyway, that's one way you save. So if I remember correctly, the game saves when you go through a bonus, or if you get the gem of a level. So yeah, but now you can save anytime on the overworld screen. But since kind of things have changed about their purpose, in the original game, you had to break all the crates in the main stage to get the crate gem. In the Insane Trilogy, you have to get all the crates in the main stage, as well as all the crates in the bonus stage, sort of to compensate for the fact that, like, now you don't have to worry about getting bonuses. So those are very important to remember, and there will be a few jerkish tokens later on. But anyway, I didn't point it out in a moment because I was talking about the tokens, but we can't complete this. We can't get the crate box. We can't get the crate gem in this level yet because we're missing a color gem. In the original Crash and Crash 2, and I'm not sure about Crash 3 actually, I can't remember off the top of my head, there are color gems. They are gained in other levels, and then once you get those, you have to come back to this level with the specific color gem and then play the level to find the rest of the crates. I guess I don't care too much about that mechanic. It's kind of annoying, but at the same time, it's sort of like, eh? But anyway, the Great Gates. I believe this is another crate, another color gem stage. Let's see. Well, actually, no, I won't see it till later. But anyway, so like I said, I never played any of the original trilogy. The only Crash game I played was, I don't know if it's considered a main game by the fans or if it's considered a spin-off. There was a crossover duality game with Spyro the Dragon. It was called, so basically it was a game where Crash and Spyro's worlds collide, essentially. Like, they each had to tackle each other's iconic villains, so Spyro had to fight Cortex, and Crash had to fight Ripto, I believe it was. I haven't played it in a while. They're both GBA games, so I haven't played them in a while, and I don't remember them that well. But, yeah, so there was basically a duality game. It's kind of like how there's a Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Sapphire. There was Crash Purple, I believe it was, and Spyro Orange. Originally, in the beginning of the game, Spyro and Crash would fight each other, but then they realized, oh hey, something's kind of going wrong here. Oh, by the way, jump on this turtle to make a platform for you to jump from to get that crate. And then now that we got invincibility, we can just charge right through enemies. These platforms with like the green moss on them, you will automatically slide down them. Very slowly though, so it's not much of a worry, but still something to keep in mind. These natives here, you need to jump on them or else they'll push you back with their shields. Okay. Okay, this fire is actually going to make me kind of nervous because, you know, this is a great remake, I'm sure, but there's definitely some iffy issues with it. Like, hitboxes are very awkward in this game. I don't see it as much as in Crash 2, the Crash 2 remake, but I really feel it in the Crash 1 remake here. Like, it really feels like there was some hitbox issues when programming this game, because I've gotten burned by fire that wasn't even lit anymore, and I checked to make sure there wasn't like, and I saw there weren't any more sparks on it either, and there wasn't, but I still got burned by it. I've jumped on things that simply weren't there. I've gotten hit by things that simply weren't there, and I've like ran along walls that weren't there either, so... But, okay, yeah, so this is another stage where you need the color gem. I'm not very fluent on the original game because I haven't played it, but I know that apparently what people did in the original game was jump to the edge of that exit portal and then jump over it, and so that way you could bypass needing the color gem there. Okay, on to the next level, boulders. So, okay, so this is kind of weird. Normally the camera is facing towards Crash's behind. But in this case, the camera is facing toward, or rather, Crash is facing away from the camera normally. In this level, you're facing towards the camera, and that's because a giant boulder is chasing you. So basically, what you want to do is always keep ahead of the boulder and watch out for pits and other stuff like that. They're going to give you these checkpoint rest stops, basically. So that's nice. But, yeah, so you want to keep ahead of the boulder, and you want to make sure you... okay, so, this is something I'm not 100% sure on. From what I know, in the original game, the boulder did not break any crates that it came in contact with, even if the models overlapped. But, now, in the remake, the boulder should break any crates that it rolls over. Though, I'm not sure about that. Mostly. Sorry about that cut there, I got interrupted for a second. But anyway, the reason why I'm not sure about that is because I've seen the boulder roll over crates that its model clearly overlapped with, and it didn't break it. So that's why I'm so hesitant on saying that, because it's sort of like, yes, it can break crates, but I wouldn't trust it, is what I'm trying to say here. And wow, that got really close, actually. But alright then, so those were the first 4? Yes. No? Yes, first 4 levels of Crash Bandicoot. And in the next episode... Okay, so I'm not going to be necessarily doing 4 per episode. It's just going to be kind of like how many I can do in around 15 minutes. But, yeah. So, those are the first 4 levels. And I'll see you guys then as we start tackling the next level, upstream, and the levels beyond. See you guys